Hi everyone. In the last lecture, already we have discussed the application of radioisotopes for the to study the reaction mechanism as well as to study the structure of the molecules. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the application of radioisotopes, that is for the age determination. So, with the help of the radioisotopes, it is possible to determine the age of water, then age of dead organism such as age of wood or the age of bone. Then here we can also determine the age of minerals and rocks as well as the age of the earth. So these four application we are going to discuss in this lecture. So let us discuss one by one. So here the first application is the age of water. So friends, here all of you know that the half-life period of the any radioactive element is definite. So here it is invariable with the temperature and the pressure. That means there is no effect of the temperature and pressure on the half-life of the radioactive element. And here we can say that the half-life period of any radioactive element, it is a fixed or it is a definite. So here this particular aspect of the radioactivity is very useful in geology and in the archaeology, where the ages are to be assigned to articles procured in the excavation. So here the articles which are procured from the excavation, their ages can be determined with the help of these radioisotopes in geology as well as in the archaeology. So here the radioactivity or radioactive decay, it acts as the clock that has been provided by the nature. So here the geologists until the beginning of this century had no suitable time scale for assigning the ages to geological samples, but here the radioactive isotope is found to be suitable in assigning the ages with the 3 to 4 spans of its life. So friends, let us consider the first application of the radioisotopes for the age determination. So here the age of the water sample with the help of the tritium. So again here we know that there are three isotopes of the hydrogen, that is the hydrogen, deuterium and the tritium. So here this is the isotope of the hydrogen and it can be used just to determine the age of the water sample. So here tritium, generally here the tritium is formed continuously in the nature by interaction of the fast neutrons of cosmic origin with the nitrogen of the atmosphere. That means here there is the interaction of the neutrons and the nitrogen. So nitrogen 14 plus neutron, it will give the tritium plus the carbon 12, and here in due course the tritium forms Ht and get oxidized into the tritiated water, that is a H2O. So here if the this tritiated water, that is H2O, this tritiated water uh, through rain reaches the seas, rivers and the lakes and mixes with the ordinary water. So here in this the ratio of tritium to hydrogen is constant and have the equilibrium value, that is a 10 raised to 18. If the water sample is withdrawn from any purpose and stored, then the tritium forms that sample start disintegrating with its characteristics half-life, that is 12.33 year. Thus, the ratio of tritium to hydrogen in the sample goes on decreasing with the time. So, here with the help of this tritium, so here we can determine the age of water only up to the 40 years. And here when the water from any above source is stored, that is the incorporation of the tritiated water with the ordinary water stops, and tritium from the stored water begin to disintegrate and the concentration ratio decreases, and this ratio gives the period, that is the age for which the water has been stored by the expression. Here the expression is used to calculate the age of the water. And what is the important, with the help of this technique we can determine the age of water only up to the 40 years. So let us consider the formula, that is T is equal to 2.303 divided by lambda log of A0 by A. So here T is equal to 2.303 divided by lambda log of A0. A0 is the activity of the tritium in the fresh sample of the water per ml, while A is the activity of the tritium in given sample of the water per ml. With the help of this formula, we can determine the age of the water, where the lambda is the disintegration constant for the tritium. So here after 40 years, the number of tritium atoms decreases considerably and error will be introduced in the assigned ages. That is why here with the help of this method or with the help of this technique, we can determine the age of water only up to the 40 years. So this is the first application of the radioisotope in the age determination. So here let us consider the second application, that is the age of the dead organism with the help of the carbon 14, and it is also called as the carbon 14 dating. So here in the atmosphere, a large quantity of nitrogen is present. So near about here the 78% nitrogen is present in the atmosphere, and here the interaction of the fast neutrons of the cosmic origin with the atmospheric nitrogen continuously convert into the carbon 14 by the reaction, and the reaction is nitrogen 14 plus neutron. It will give the carbon 14 plus proton. So here as per this reaction, here there is a continuous formation of the carbon 14. So here the large quantity of the carbon 14 thus form combined with the atmospheric oxygen forming carbon dioxide, which containing the 14 carbon, together with the ordinary carbon dioxide containing the carbon 12. So here this is very important. Here the large quantity of the carbon 14 thus formed combined with the atmospheric oxygen, and there is a formation of the CO2 which containing the carbon 14 together with the ordinary carbon dioxide which contain the carbon 12. Thus in atmosphere carbon 14 and carbon 12 both are present in definite proportion and is taken up by the living plants to prepare food for their growth by photosynthesis process. So here the mass of or the mass ratio of the carbon 14 to carbon 12, that is a carbon dioxide which containing the carbon 14 to carbon dioxide which containing the carbon 12 of the atmosphere over the ages remain constant, and this ratio is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 12. The living plants and animals have definite proportion of the carbon 14 in their body. Therefore, if analyzed, would give the constant value of the carbon 14 and is found to be 16.1 disintegration per minute per gram of the total carbon. And here what is the important, once the plant or animal dies, the absorption of the atmospheric carbon dioxide containing the carbon 14 and carbon dioxide containing the carbon 12 also stops, and thus whether or whatever the carbon 14 is present at the time of death of plant or animal start disintegration with its characteristic half-life period of carbon 14, that is 5730 years. So here the concentration ratio of the carbon 14 to carbon 12 decreases, and this decrease from the equilibrium ratio is a measure of age of the sample. So here this carbon 14 decays as, that is it will give the nitrogen 14 plus beta particles having the very low energy, and here the generally the energy of the beta particles it is equal to 0.155 million electron volt and are called as the soft beta particle. Thus the energy as well as specific ionization of the beta particle is very small. Therefore the special counter with the low background are needed in assigning the ages, and here the age of the sample is obtained in terms of the half-life period of the carbon 14 by using the following relation, and here these are the two equations, that is T is equal to 1.85 into 10 raised to minus 4 log of 16.1 divided by D years, or here this formula or another formula is T is equal to 2.303 divided by lambda into log, that is the activity of the fresh sample of the wood, that is a wood article, bone etc. per gram in the given area divided by activity of the dead sample of tree, bone etc. per gram in the same area. So with the help of this formula, here it is possible to determine the age of the dead organism such as wood or the bone, and in this formula the lambda is called as the disintegration constant of the carbon 14. So this is the second application of the radioisotope in the age determination. Let us consider the third application, that is the age of minerals and the rock. So here with the help of the radioisotope, it is also possible to find out the age of the minerals and the rock. So here the end product of all the three naturally occurring radioactive series is the isotopes of the lead. So here the Pb 206, then here the lead 207 and lead 208. So here these are the three naturally occurring radioactive series such as the uranium 238, uranium 235 and thorium 232. So here their end products are the leads. So here the measurement of ratio of amount of radiological lead to uranium and thorium in given minerals and rock would enable us to calculate or to compute the age of the specimen. So here the method was developed by the Kivil in 1939, assuming or by considering the following things. So the number one is contribution from lead 207 to the total lead atoms is negligible, which is the end product of the series uranium 235, which occurs very small in natural uranium. And the second one is in the expression of e raised to lambda t, only first term is considered because lambda is very small and therefore its higher power t small, and therefore the Kivil gives following equation to find out the age of the mineral and the rock. So with the help of this equation, it is possible to calculate the age of the minerals and the rock. So here equation is m is equal to in bracket capital N1 into lambda N1 plus capital N2 into lambda 2 bracket complete into t, where in this equation m is the total number of lead atoms in the sample. Then here this lambda 1 is the decay constant of uranium 238 and its value is 1.54 into 10 raised to minus 10 per year. Then this lambda 2, it is the decay constant of the thorium 232 and its value is 4.99 into 10 raised to minus 11 per year. Then here this N1 is the number of atoms of the uranium 238, while this N2, it is the number of atoms of uranium number of atoms of the thorium 232. So here with the help of this equation here it is possible to calculate the age of the minerals and the rock. So here the age of the rock that is a t in years is equal to, by rearranging this equation, that is a m divided by n1 into lambda 1 plus n2 into lambda 2. So here thus knowing the total lead atoms in given sample, and also here the n1 and n2 the number of uranium 238 and thorium 232 atoms respectively, the age of the sample can be obtained using the above formula or the above equation. So this is the third application of the radioisotope for the age determination. And let us consider the last application, that is the age of the earth. So here considering or the assuming the earth to be isolated system, the above method employed for the determination of the age of minerals and the rocks can be used for the age determination of the earth. It would be natural to expect that the age of the most ancient minerals represent the minimum age of the earth. So generally here the age of the earth is found to be 5 plus minus 0.5 into 10 raised to 9 years. So friends, these are the 4 applications of the radioisotope in the age determination. So here in the next lecture we are going to consider the medical application of the radioisotopes. Thank you.